Sara Duterte's political rise has been nothing short of remarkable. She began her career as mayor of Davao City, following in the footsteps of her father, Rodrigo Duterte. Her success in Davao, where she earned a reputation for her tough stance on crime and her dedication to public service, catapulted her onto the national stage. In 2022, she was elected Vice President of the Philippines, a testament to her growing popularity and the enduring power of the Duterte name. Now, with the 2028 presidential election on the horizon, many are wondering if Sara Duterte will aim for the top job and further cement the Duterte dynasty's place in Philippine politics. Davao City, a bustling metropolis on the southern island of Mindanao, has long been the power base of the Duterte family. It was here that Rodrigo Duterte built his reputation as a tough-talking, crime-fighting mayor. And it was here that Sara Duterte cut her teeth in politics, learning the ropes from her father and building a loyal following of her own. Her time as Davao City mayor provided her with valuable experience in governing a large and complex city. It also allowed her to connect with ordinary Filipinos and understand their concerns. The Duterte brand, both loved and loathed, is undeniably a potent force in Philippine politics. Rodrigo Duterte's presidency was marked by both praise and condemnation. His supporters lauded his tough stance on crime and his efforts to eradicate illegal drugs. His detractors criticized his human rights record and his often authoritarian style of leadership. Sara Duterte, while embracing her father's legacy, will need to navigate this complex terrain carefully. She must convince Filipinos that she is her own person, capable of leading the country in a new direction while also appealing to those who yearn for the strongman style of her father. The 2028 Philippine presidential election is still a few years away, but the political landscape is already taking shape. Sara Duterte, with her name recognition, her political experience, and her deep understanding of the Filipino people, is undoubtedly a frontrunner. However, the road to the presidency is long and arduous. She will face stiff competition from other seasoned politicians and rising stars. The outcome of the election will depend on a multitude of factors, including the state of the economy, the security situation, and the public's mood. Growing up in the shadow of a political heavyweight like Rodrigo Duterte undoubtedly shaped Sara Duterte's worldview. From a young age, she witnessed the intricacies of Philippine politics firsthand. She observed her father's unconventional methods, his charisma, and his ability to connect with the common Filipino. This early exposure to the world of politics instilled in her a deep understanding of the country's political system and the challenges of leadership. It also exposed her to the harsh realities of public life, the scrutiny, the criticism, and the constant pressure that comes with being a Duterte. Some analysts believe that Sara Duterte's time working within her father's administration, particularly her role as his spokesperson, provided her with invaluable experience in navigating the complexities of national politics. During this period, she honed her communication skills, learned the art of political maneuvering, and built relationships with key players in the government. However, her close association with her father's administration could also prove to be a double-edged sword. While it provides her with undeniable experience, it also opens her up to criticisms of nepotism and questions about her ability to forge her own path. Critics argue that Sara Duterte's political outlook is too closely aligned with her father's, raising concerns about a potential continuation of his controversial policies. They point to her public statements in support of the drug war, her tough stance on crime, and her conservative views on social issues as evidence of her ideological similarities with her father. These critics fear that a Sara Duterte presidency would simply be a continuation of her father's reign, with all its accompanying controversies and potential human rights abuses. Despite the criticisms, there's no denying that Sara Duterte is a skilled politician in her own right. She possesses a natural charisma and an ability to connect with people from all walks of life. She is a gifted communicator, able to articulate her message in a way that resonates with ordinary Filipinos. Whether she can step out of her father's shadow and forge her own path remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Sara Duterte is a force to be reckoned with in Philippine politics. One of Sara Duterte's greatest strengths as a politician is her undeniable popularity among diverse groups of Filipinos. She enjoys widespread support across different socioeconomic classes, geographic regions, and even political ideologies. This broad appeal stems from a variety of factors, including her family name, her personal charisma, and her perceived ability to connect with the common Filipino. Many Filipinos, particularly those who benefited from Rodrigo Duterte's social programs or admired his tough stance on crime, view Sara Duterte favorably. They see her as a strong and decisive leader who can continue her father's legacy of progress and security. Her supporters often cite her track record as mayor of Davao City, where she implemented successful initiatives in infrastructure development, poverty alleviation, and peace and order. Beyond her family name, Sara Duterte has cultivated a distinct political persona that resonates with many Filipinos. Her down-to-earth demeanor, her straightforward communication style, and her willingness to engage with people from all walks of life have earned her the respect and admiration of many. This ability to connect with the masses, coupled with her image as a strong and independent woman, has made her a popular figure even among those who may not necessarily agree with all of her policies. However, it's important to note that Sara Duterte's popularity is not universal. Critics, particularly those concerned about human rights and democratic institutions, view her with suspicion and apprehension. They fear that her brand of politics, with its emphasis on law and order and its perceived disregard for due process, could further erode democratic norms and lead to more human rights abuses. Rodrigo Duterte's presidency was a period of profound change and upheaval in the Philippines. His unconventional leadership style, his brash rhetoric, and his controversial policies left an indelible mark on the country's political landscape. His legacy, a complex tapestry of achievements and controversies, continues to loom large over Philippine politics, and will undoubtedly play a significant role in shaping the 2028 presidential election. Duterte's supporters point to his accomplishments in combating crime, particularly his war on drugs, as evidence of his effective leadership. They argue that his tough stance on criminality brought much-needed peace and order to the streets, making the Philippines a safer place for ordinary citizens. They also credit him with boosting the country's economy, attracting foreign investment, and improving infrastructure. However, Duterte's presidency was also marred by accusations of human rights abuses, particularly in the context of his war on drugs. Critics allege that his administration's brutal crackdown on drug traffickers and users resulted in thousands of extrajudicial killings, often without due process or accountability. They also point to his administration's crackdown on dissent, its attacks on the media, and its efforts to weaken democratic institutions as evidence of his authoritarian tendencies. The International Criminal Court's investigation into Duterte's war on drugs, though he withdrew the Philippines from the ICC during his term, further complicates his legacy. The ICC's findings, if they lead to charges, could have far-reaching implications for Duterte and his allies, potentially impacting Sara Duterte's political future.